Hi, I'm Kiana Dow, and I'm a first year at Trinity Western University. And some things you should know about me is I grew up in a Christian home, and I accepted Jesus into my heart at the age of 4. Obviously, I did not know what that meant when I was that young, but I was very excited, and I got my sister to baptize me in our bathtub shortly after. Skipping ahead quite a few years, in my early teens, I began to take my faith more as my own. So I started going to youth group and reading devotionals and praying. But a part of me always felt inadequate to call myself a Christian because I would always look around me and see all these people who I looked up to who seemed to be doing it so much better than me. And I never felt like I could measure up to them. I think that my faith really took a turn at the start of COVID. I have text messages to my parents starting early January when I was getting very worried about COVID first coming to Canada, and all that anxiety started to build up, and shortly after I had my first panic attack, and I decided that I didn't want to live like that anymore, so I started attending counseling. With all the restrictions, I couldn't see my friends anymore, and there were lots of changes with school being online. I intentionally took the time to slow down and read my devotionals thoughtfully and spend time in prayer. The deeper connection I felt with God, in addition to the time I spent in counseling and seeing answered prayers, helped me to learn to trust God with my anxiety rather than to lean on my own understanding. This past year, I moved into dorms, and it was amazing to me to see how God helped me deal with my anxiety in moving away from home and how He blessed me with such an incredible dorm and my roommate. And it just showed me how much God can accomplish when I put my trust in Him instead of worrying about it on my own. In my grade 12 year, I chose for my capstone project to write a book called The Front Porch Swing, preserving the stories and memories of older generations. And one thing that stood out to me during this time was how easily I could tell when I interviewed people who had a faith background and how much God had influenced their life. The people who had faith in God found so much joy in life and were so willing to share that with me. And I realized that that was something I wanted people to tell about me, which is why I'm here today. I really want to thank my family for supporting me and Briar as well for baptizing me today. They've been such a huge part of my faith journey, encouraging me all along the way, and I really couldn't have done this without them. I'm here today to let you know that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior.
Wow, what an awesome day it is today. And it's a great privilege for me to be here with Kiana. But there are a couple of things that I really want to also add to her story and tell you. I'm sure she's really thrilled that I'm now speaking about this. The first thing is that you should know Kiana absolutely hates, with a capital H, being in the spotlight. So I really just want you to focus on that for a few minutes because the bravery and the courage that it takes to do this. The second thing that I want you to know, which many people don't know because she's such a lovely, quiet, reserved person, is that she's the most stubborn person I think I have ever met in my entire life. And I've met a lot of people, Kiana. It kind of takes your breath away, actually, how stubborn she is. But to be completely honest, she uses her superpowers for good, not evil. The thing about Kiana, when she commits, she's an immovable force. And that is how she is with her faith. And that's what I've seen in her walk with Jesus. She's all in, every fiber of her being, even when it means being in places that stretch her and push her out of her comfort zone. She's still all in. And Kiana, that's an incredible testimony to all of us. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes that message gets missed, that just because you choose to follow Jesus, it doesn't mean that He promises a life here on earth of rainbows and butterflies and fluffy kittens. But actually, sometimes He asks us to step outside of our comfort zone and really pushes us. But He promises us that He'll always be with us. And Kiana, thank you for teaching us that. So I have a Bible verse that I wanted to just close with. And not because Kiana needs to hear it, but because Kiana lives it every single day. And it's from Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For your Lord, your God, is with you wherever you go. Let's do this.